Hello and welcome to This Week at Endicott. I'm Riley Fitzgibbons.
And I'm Lexi Lozano. This week is Eating Disorder Awareness Week. On Wednesday, February 24th at 11 a.m., there will be a healthy eating Q&A at Callahan Dining. Then, at 4:30 p.m., CAB is presenting Beat the Bobcats, where you can sit down, have some hot cocoa, win a free t-shirt before the men's first lacrosse game of the season, which is versus Bates College at 5 p.m. at the lacrosse stadium. Also at 5 is the Intercultural Club meeting in the LSB auditorium. Later at 7 is the Relay for Life meeting in the LSB classroom, 1:30. Also at 7 is the Family Promise ASB meeting in the Lower Callahan.
Thursday, February 25th is Grateful Gull Day. At 10 a.m., visit the LSB lobby in Callahan to share what you love about Endicott. Use the hashtag GratefulGull for the chance to win a $50 gift card to the bookstore. At 12 p.m., as part of the Visiting Author Series, is a talk with Sebastian Lockwood. As part of Eating Disorder Awareness Week is the film The Mask You Live In, held in the LSB Auditorium at 7 p.m. Then, at 8 p.m. in the Lower Cali is Winter Bingo, where you can win an Apple Watch. Lastly, at 9 p.m. is 21 Plus Pub Night at Gulliver's.
On Friday, February 26th will be hashtag EC Love Your Jeans Day, where all are encouraged to wear jeans. At 3:30 p.m. will be the Boston Urban Outreach Mission Trip. Be sure to sign up because volunteers will be participating in service projects around Boston and learning firsthand about social justice issues. All will be returning to campus in the late afternoon Saturday, and there is no expense to volunteers. At 6:30, Northeast ARC's Friday Night Happenings will deliver lifelong support services to people with developmental disabilities. The theme for this Friday is Casino Game Night. Be sure to sign up to volunteer. Also, at 8 o'clock, be sure to check out Late Night Locals presentation of Leap Year Vision Boards.
And now over to weather with Jill Watch.
Cyclone on the Weather Watch report. The storm left 17 dead on the island of Fiji. Now that the tropical winds have passed, cleanup has gone underway and a number of schools have been closed as a result of the damage. The weather for this week in Beverly is looking like rain. There are a prediction to be high chances of rain for this Wednesday with high temps in the mid 40-degree range. Chances of rainstorms will carry over into Thursday morning to the early evening with windy conditions and an average temperature in the high 40s. It won't be until this Friday that the conditions will finally clear up with partly cloudy skies and an overall temperature of 40 degrees. Saturday conditions are predicted to be mostly sunny with an all-time low temperature for the week at just 38 degrees and backing winds headed from west to east at an average of 12 miles per hour. This Sunday, there will be partly sunny skies and temperatures overall in the 30-degree range.
Saturday, February 27th is the Waterville Ski Valley trip. The bus will leave the Post Center at 7 a.m. and depart from Waterville Valley at 4 p.m. The discounted lift tickets are $50, and that also includes transportation. On Saturday, later on, the Drama Club presents The Lights of Broadway Miscast at 7:30, and at 8 o'clock, there are Leap Year Vision Boards in Lower Callahan.
Now over to sports with Jess and Nick.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of EC Sports. For EC TV, I'm Jess Carroll.
And I'm Nick Weinstein. The women's basketball team finished the 2015-16 regular season with a 15-10 overall record and a strong 13-5 record in conference play. The Gulls enter the postseason play as the number 4 seed and host Curry College at home. Endicott improved significantly this season, led by strong performances from senior Kelsey Cuddy, who averaged 15.8 points a game. Cuddy landed on the All-CCC first team, while sophomore forward Hannah Shaw earned third-team honors.
The men's basketball team finished their 2015-2016 regular season at 15-10 overall and 12-6 in the CCC. This record was good enough to land the Gulls the number 4 seed in the conference tournament as they will host Gordon in the quarterfinals. Endicott had another solid season and are defending the conference champions, defending CCC Player of the Week Kamal Walker in another fantastic season as he leads the conference in scoring yet again, averaging 20.6 points per game. Walker landed on the All-CCC first team while his junior classmates Max Matroni and Daquan Sampson earned second team honors.
The Endicott women's hockey team wrapped up their inaugural regular season campaign, finishing in second place in the CHC. They finished their first season at 13-6-4 overall and an impressive 11-1-2 conference record. They will travel up to first place Stevenson College on March 5th for the semifinals.
The men's hockey team finished up their first season as a varsity sport pretty well, to say the least. The Gulls captured their first ever ECAC Northeast regular season title this past week in their first try. They finished the regular season with an impressive 15-8-2 overall record and an 11-4-1 conference record, which gives them the right to host the postseason here at Raymond J. Bork Arena. The men will await the quarterfinals and host the lowest remaining seed in the semifinals on Wednesday, March 2nd here at Endicott.
And to wrap things up, the men's volleyball team is off to an 8-8 start this season with a 3-0 conference record in NECC play. The men currently sit atop the conference standings as they look to repeat as champions and earn another NCAA tournament berth. Last week, senior Dan Toth was named NECC Player of the Week. The Gulls host Elms on Tuesday, March 1st.
Thanks for watching this week's edition of EC Sports. For ECTV, I'm Jess Carroll.
And I'm Nick Weinstein. Go Gulls.
This Sunday, February 28th, will be the men's lacrosse game versus Stevens in the Lacrosse Stadium.
On Monday, February 29th, it's Leap Day. Also, the last-minute Meet the Candidates will be held where students can discuss the potential presidential candidates the night before the Massachusetts primary. This discussion will be held at 6 o'clock p.m. in the LSB auditorium.
On Tuesday, March 1st, there is a men's volleyball game at Elms at 7 p.m. Be sure to head down and check it out.
Up next, we have Shake My Head News with Simone and Rain.
Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Shake My Head News. I'm Simone.
And I'm Rain.
The phrase, "if looks could kill," just took on a whole new meaning for this barbershop in San Diego, California. Adrienne Swan received a haircut this Wednesday that she was not very happy with. Despite her $20 tip, Adrienne returned an hour later pointing a gun at her barber. The customer attempted to fire the gun 3 times, but it thankfully malfunctioned. The barber stated she returned with a huge bald spot on the side of her head. "I did not do that." The crazed woman was arrested for attempted murder. Sounds like she was looking for a different kind of dye job that day.
Don't you hate when you're trying to relax with a beer and some drunk idiot comes and bothers you? Well, customers of a Brazilian bar know the struggle too well, but instead of a drunken idiot bothering them, it was a drunken monkey with a knife. This little monkey snuck its way into the bar, downed a mug of leftover rum, picked up a knife, and began terrorizing customers. According to news reports, firefighters came and captured the monkey and released the animal into a nature reserve. At least we can finally answer that question: what happens when a monkey walks into a bar?
An Oregon food distribution company has halted shipments of canned green beans after a Utah woman said she found a severed snake head in the can. It's reported that Troy Walker was preparing a meal for members of her congregation when she noticed something a little odd. What appeared to be a burnt green bean was actually a floating snakehead. The rest of the snake has not been found yet, so until then, I would stay away from green beans unless you're looking to add an extra bite to your next dish.
A feisty 81-year-old woman took matters into her own hands this weekend when she rammed a pair of criminals with her car. The 81-year-old was sitting in her car when she was approached by a man and woman. As she was talking to the man, his partner grabbed her purse and the two fled to get a getaway car. The woman sped after the convicts and rammed into their back bumper in attempts to stop them. The duo were able to escape, but not hide. They were found and arrested later that day thanks to the notable dent in the car. Way to go, Grandma. And that's all we have for this week's episode of Shake My Head News. See you next time.
Next up, Molly chats with Christina and Alec, who are studying abroad in Florence, Italy.
Oh, first and foremost, hello, how are you doing?
We're great.
I'm doing great.
So what?
Things over here are excellent. I am really blending in with the culture. Anything else? No, we're good. We're doing good.
Alec is not blending in with the culture.
What is like the biggest culture shock you guys have noticed?
Ooh.
It's a hard one.
I don't know, the people probably. Because people stare a lot. They just like stare and they won't smile. Like in the US, if you like make eye contact with someone, you might like smile at them. But over here, they just like stare at you and then you stare and you like want to be like, hey, but it's just like they're just looking at you.
Yeah.
So you feel like you're like being watched a lot.
And if a girl makes eye contact with a guy for more than like a few seconds, it means that she's interested in him.
There's a real lot that's different. There's a real lot of just like little things that like you have to get used to.
Yeah. They don't have, when they serve bread at restaurants, you don't dip it in the oil.
Culture shock. It's the bread.
That's the biggest toll that it's taken. Is the fact that
you have to buy water.
Like water doesn't come for free. It's all, you have to buy it at restaurants and everything.
Oh my God, you must be spending so much money.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot that's different.
You can't touch the fruit at Conad or the grocery store.
Grocery stores, you can't touch fruit. You can't touch anything. You have to put gloves on to touch things.
What? Are they like that worried about diseases?
I don't know. I think they're just that sanitary.
Well, they tell you to put gloves on, but when they make you a pizza or a sandwich, they don't wear gloves when cooking food.
It's very weird.
Okay.
Very weird.
Pretty backwards. So, have you guys started classes yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's our third week.
Oh, that would be a culture shock. That's what a culture, because the classes over here for us are each 2.5 hours long.
Oh.
So it's like, and they meet once a week. So it's like, it's so hard to sit through. And then you get towards the end and you're just like think about an hour and 15-minute class. Then you have a 5-10 minute break and you do the same exact thing for another hour. It's just like, oh, it's so long. It's so like, it wears on you. But once a week is next, so.
One of our classes, we get coffee breaks. So we get to leave and get coffee. And
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Get a little energy boost.
One of my classes is wine. We taste wine every class. So, I mean, it's not a.
He was at the, we were out to a nice Italian dinner the other night, and he learns about wine. He goes, I'll have the Chianti.
Oh, Alec. Even I know that.
He's mad at me.
And it's interesting to learn some Italian in your classes because some of the teachers don't speak English very well, so you kind of have to listen a little more carefully to what they're all saying.
Are you picking up on the language? Can you speak to me in Italian right here, right now? No. Hasn't been long enough?
But you can pick up on it. Like, you pick up on things where, like, you can recognize, like, certain, like, little phrases that Italians will say, or, like, if I'm shopping and they ask if I want a bag. Like, that's just something, if I hear it now, I can, like, I know what to say. I can, like, kind of understand numbers when they say, like, a total for something. So, like, you pick up on things just being around it all the time, but a lot of it's in English, too. So it's, like, it doesn't force you to learn the language.
A lot of Italians do speak English, so that's helpful. We're really lucky because we're in Italy and we're surrounded by so many different countries. So going to Switzerland on a bus ride was basically like, for me, going to New York. It was that close. It was only 6 hours. 6 or 7.
7-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it wasn't. It's not a short bus ride, but it's like a weekend trip to Switzerland. And then it's like just being in Italy. There's so many cities that you can visit in Italy, which are just like day trips away. So you can visit a bunch of other countries pretty easily on weekend trips, but just traveling around Italy too is so easy.
Yeah, we were planning on taking a day trip to Pisa, Verona, Venice, and we've already been to Rome and a few other cities in Italy. So it's really easy to travel, and there's some companies that plan it for you. So it's easy to just book it through them, or you can try to book it on your own. But it was definitely worth it. Our first trip was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun.
I went paragliding. Alex was sweating.
I was just showing Ellie the picture. I was like, they jumped out of planes.
I didn't. They jumped out. One of us jumped out of a plane. The rest jumped off a mountain, and I went sledding in a blizzard. So we wasn't really prepared for that weekend, but it was worth it.
That's This Week at Endicott. Thanks for watching.